Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Short Pit, a NASCAR podcast. I'm your host, Kaleb Chesney, back in my usual setting, usual format. Got good microphone quality, I hope. Everything's back to normal so far. Chris is with me with half a voice. Chris, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. My voice is here and there, so we'll see how it goes.
Hooting and hollering for Chase Elliott there in Nashville. Again, remind me where he finished.
15th.
15th, a lot better than my guy. We'll get to that. BR, how are you today? Looking good in your CU gear.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Where did Bubba finish this week?
6th.
Nice. And ladies and gentlemen, you have our first winner of the podcast this year. Give a round of applause for Cam and Ryan Blaney.
Fucking finally.
Yeah, it got kind of maddening at that point. But yeah, I mean, glad to see him finally win, and there's no reason he shouldn't have before. And my prediction last week where one of us would win by Pocono came true the very next week. So I'm gonna double down and say another one of us wins by Pocono, just because my prediction's already true.
It's great. We got Michigan, Mexico City, and Pocono coming all up. We'll get into that. Cam obviously doing well. Let's dive right into it. Nashville, the Cracker Barrel 400, Ryan Blaney, your winner. Because Chris's voice is dead and dying, I'm going to send it right to BR. What did you think of that race on Sunday night?
It was fine.
Good.
Yeah, it wasn't a particularly bad race. It wasn't particularly great. It was one of the races of all time.
And we'll take that after some stinkers at the end of Fox's run. Cam, I'll kick it right to you. Again, we talked about it. Blaney gets the win in Nashville, locks himself in the playoffs, spends his whole time on the start-finish line, just aura farming everybody. What do you think of that race overall?
I mean, obviously, I enjoyed it because my guy won. But in terms of if I take that out of the equation, I mean, it was a typical next-gen race on a. I mean, technically, I guess it's an intermediate, but I feel like it's kind of a hybrid short track intermediate, and the car is not great on that type of thing. Blaney really didn't move from P15 for most of the first stage. Hassler takes 2 tires, gets to the front of the field, and then we go, oh, wait a minute, he's probably faster than everybody here because that's just how that works. But, I mean, for a next-gen race on that type of track, I think BR said it right. It was fine. I mean, I also think, it really goes to show what a good broadcast can do for a race, because I feel like if Fox was calling that race, we would have all been,
snoozing.
Trying to turn it off. And, that's weird about next-gen is you get that hard to pass, but every once in a while you get one of those battles like that happened between the 12-11 and the 12-11 and 24 for the lead, where you're like, wow, this is actually a really good battle because they are so close to each other. So you kind of you give and take with this type of track with this car.
Chris?
Yeah, definitely. Cam took the words out of my mouth. I've noted that battle between Blaney, Byron, and Hamlin at the end of stage 2. That was interesting. I mean, it wasn't a bad race, but I think the broadcast helped.
No, for sure. I will be forthcoming. I did not finish this race for a multitude of different reasons. Number one, Sunday was move-in day, so I was already dead and tired and had to get up at 4 a.m. for work the next day, so I wasn't all that invested. And then when Bowman wrecked however many laps in, I was like, okay, that's it. And so, yeah, I come in a little less knowledgeable than the rest of the fellows here, but that's okay. They carried me once, they'll carry me again. So, yeah, let's get right to the meat and potatoes of this show. I feel like probably the biggest storyline coming out is this Hocevar versus Stenhouse thing. I know that there are some conflicting reports on whose fault it was, and I want to get the blame. I need to get that situated. I need Short Pit's verification. We've studied it. We've looked at it very hard. And yes, and I think we've come to a conclusion. fellas, about whose fault this is and what the appropriate reaction should be. I don't know who to go to for this. Cam.
I'll take it if you want. I mean, I think it's just one of those deals where, like, by the letter of the law, is it the 77's fault? Probably. But at the same time, like, there was well enough time for the 47 spotter to call inside. He probably should have cut him a break, that early in the race, but he's not required to. And the same, I feel like we do this all the time, especially with younger, aggressive drivers that are that fast. The way, you get drivers that do behave like that. It's like, on one hand, people will lose their mind over stuff like that, but these are the same people that love Dale Earnhardt, and it's like that's exactly how he would have raced it.
It's Carson Hocevar is my stepdad's favorite driver. My stepdad stopped watching after Dale died, so there you go.
It's like, yeah, he takes what he can get. He takes anything he can get. We had the same problem with Chastain. I think Chastain was a little more rash. But it's the same. I mean, we get one of these every few years, and people always act surprised. And frankly, Stenhouse, I understand why he's upset, and I think he's honestly probably more upset that Hocevar really had no remorse for the situation. But, like, that's going to happen, and Hocevar was already down on the line. So, like, yeah, was it technically Hocevar's fault? But at the same time, he doesn't have to lift there. So.
No, I'm pretty much. I pretty much said the same thing. Wrecky wrecked himself more than Hocevar wrecked him, but Hocevar could have cut him a break too. And that same break is not going to be cut when eventually he ends up doing the same thing. And Chris, I see you nodding along. Anything to add?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because in our pool I debated on it. I was talking out loud and I was like, "Hey, I may take Ricky this week. He's been racing pretty good." My wife goes, "You mean Wrecky?" I was like, "Yeah, that's probably right. You're probably right. Shouldn't do that." And
I debated it too, and I went with McDowell. And
did y'all see the clip from Action Detrimental where Hamlin accidentally said Wrecky?
Yeah,
did he?
Yeah, he said what was it? He said Wrecky. It was Wrecky Stenhouse instead of Ricky Stenhouse. And then he was like, he didn't mean to say it, or like Freudian slipped out. Wrecky Stenhouse. There, you could definitely find the clip really easily if you want to do. But yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, Hamlin said he's going to get him back, and like you said, Kaleb too. I think Stenhouse will wait though, especially if it's a points battle, for that last spot because they're all right there at the bottom of it.
I think
I could easily see that
win first, unfortunately for Ricky, but.
I got it. I found the tweet. Oh, been a while since I've been in the driver chair, and I gotta share stuff. Again, go listen to Access Detrimental, one of my favorite podcasts. Go listen to it with the original source, but we'll show it to you here just because we're talking about it. Volume up.
I thought he didn't break. I mean, I didn't see that he break record. I said that wrong. I said it wrong.
Oh boy! Shout out to Denny Hamlin, gonna have another kid here any day now if he hasn't had it already.
I was gonna say, has it not happened yet?
I didn't see anything on Twitter, but then again, they usually wait a few days.
But Wrecky wrecked. BR, anything to add to the Hocevar Stenhouse discussion? Do you think Wrecky's eventually gonna get him back?
Oh yeah, no, he will. He definitely will. I mean, on Hocevar in general, and this is a bit of a lazy comparison, as you know, Chastain's a bit of a mentor, it appears, but I think Hocevar will take the route of Chastain to where he won't ever lose his aggressiveness, but he might learn when and when not is the right. I said that wrong. When it is the right time and when it is the wrong time to really push it, So I think that's the hope for Hocevar, and yeah, both of them are at fault. I mean, Hocevar, yeah, he could have cut him a break like everyone said, but also Cam said this. He doesn't really move. He stays on his line. It's Stenhouse who comes right into him. So
Like I said, he could have cut him a break, and he chose not to.
Yeah,
and you can argue whether that's right or wrong, like whatever. Like Stenhouse wrecked himself more than Hocevar did anything wrong, but Hocevar could have cut him a break too.
Hocevar's got some leverage when it comes to these arguments because he's like 7 foot tall. So I don't know if these drivers want to actually fight him.
Well, that's the thing. He's 7 foot tall, but he's a tree. Like he's not the big show.
I mean, yeah, but the Ricky Stenhouse, I think, is like 5'7". Like he, you know.
POV be when I'm looking at someone who's 5'6".
But yeah, I'll say this, and then we can move on. I told my stepdad this, and I said, wrecking Ricky Stenhouse is one thing. Chastain didn't really get it until he started getting crossing the hairs with Larson and Mr. H making the boss call to chill it out. At least so we think. So I think it's probably like Stenhouse isn't going to move the needle for Hocevar one way or the other. He's going to have to run into somebody who has a little bit of, I don't want to say legitimacy because Stenhouse is a Daytona 500 winner, but you guys know what I'm saying. Some prestige and clout, yes, some status, and I'm sure that'll happen sooner rather than later. Even Denny said if Hocevar hasn't crossed me yet, but if he does, he's going to know about it. So that's it on Hocevar and Stenhouse, unless somebody has anything else to add.
No.
Felt like we did a pretty good job there. All right. Cam was right. We got one of our favorite drivers in victory lane, but I am personally in hell. We've had 2 top 10s in Camp 48 since choking it away to Larson at Homestead. We had a top 5 at Kansas and like a P7 at Talladega. Everything else, I think it's like 15th or below or something crazy. I'm not enjoying life right now. It's brutal, but we'll power through. We'll power through. Good to see everybody else having such a great time.
I'm not sure Chris is having the best time.
I love finishing P15 week in and week out. Love it.
It's like a Chase Elliott's recent finishes as of late, just so I can.
The 23 has to go through like the 7 rings of hell.
Oh, Chris, I don't want to. I was about to say I don't want to fucking hear it, but P6 in Charlotte is not bad. P15 in Kansas, ugh. Texas P16, ugh. P5 at Dega, P15 at Bristol, ugh. Okay, yeah. Okay, but at least you're finishing the goddamn race, okay?
Well, yeah.
He was probably the best car at Kansas. His pit crew just said, "Screw you." But what I was saying though is the 23 has to go through the 7 rings of hell, and then he's magically P6. So that's every week with him. Speeding penalty, too many men over the wall, spun something, and then you're like, oh, he's P6. Okay.
Bubba since he's got some DNFs.
Dude, May was awful for them.
Yeah, May was bad.
I won't
Texas lie. P33, Kansas P33, Charlotte P35.
I won't lie.
All wrecked.
When he got the speeding penalty, I was like, "Oh fuck, here we go again." I thought it was over and like it was gonna be outside the top 30 again. Like I thought we were cooked. Just based off the last month, like when he would get something like that, it was just over for the day. And for a month straight, so I was like, well, it's here we go again. And then
I mean, I just wonder how fast he actually was. The fact he got to P6 after that.
Yeah.
Like how fast he actually was.
No, has Reddick won yet? No, right? No. I'd go out on a limb and say, not on a limb. I think that this is a reasonably mild take, but Bubba's been the best car in that camp without a doubt in my mind since the get-go.
It's been close. Like I think average running position, I think Bubba's is in the 13s and Reddick is in the like 11s or high 10s. But then again, that's also skewed by the fact that Bubba finished basically like he didn't start for a whole month. So
Reddick's average finish. I don't know if this counts the races that don't matter. But Reddick's average finish right now is 14.2. Bubba Wallace's is 19.7.
That's been skewed by a month of finishing outside the top 30.
Yeah, but on running position, I think Reddick has him by like I think Bubba's is like 13.73 and Reddick's is like the high 10s, I think. So
Gotcha. I don't know. I feel like I'm more moved. Maybe it's just my expectations for Reddick coming in were so high, and he hasn't met them. And Bubba's been, I don't want to say surprising because I expect him to race well, but he's actually doing it.
Yeah,
Consistently, I think is the more than anything, because he's always had weeks where he would be really, really fast, and then it'd be a lot more of a roller coaster. Where, granted, again, obviously excluding May, but up until then, he had been consistently just good all year, which I think has been the big breakthrough for it. Even though obviously they haven't won yet. I don't know if necessarily that he's been better. I mean, I said I did, but now that I think about it, I'm not sure he's better than Reddick.
I wouldn't say that he's a better talent than Reddick, but I feel better about how he's running than how Reddick's running so far.
Yeah, what I would say is, if I had to predict, I would predict Bubba wins a race before Reddick at this point.
Now that's a good take. That's a good take. Chris, anything to add on the 23-11 discussion that just came up?
I like that take, but I mean, again, it wouldn't surprise me if it goes the other way either.
Oh, no, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't be surprised either.
My pushback on that would just be that we have 4, 5 road courses before the end of the year.
Yep, and that was what I was about to say.
So just that alone, I think, makes Reddick more likely to win.
That's true. About had it in Chicago last year. Thank God he didn't.
Because you got Chicago. You got Chicago, Sonoma, Mexico City, Watkins Glen, the Roval. That's 5. And there might be another that I forgot, but I don't think it's this 05.
No, I think you nailed them all.
Offhand question though: out of those, how many does AJ Allmendinger actually get to finish? Because his car doesn't blow up.
The Roval. Well, they're putting all their stock into the Roval.
Yeah, it's so weird how that happens, but yeah, I mean the Roval's where I think that team wakes up in January and goes, "Guys, building the Roval car."
They're in playoff hunt too. I mean, that's weird right now. They're right in that bubble area.
Been fast. He was bad fast in Charlotte, like bad fast.
Yeah.
I think I gave him driver of the week last week.
I believe you did.
You did.
Chris, do you actually track our drivers of the week?
I don't do it. I don't track drivers of the week. I choose their picks though.
Okay.
I need to track that.
Well, there's no point now. We're past halfway through the season. We have to go back and watch them all.
We're halfway through the regular season at least.
Okay. Okay, we went over my personal hell. Cam, I let him do his victory lap at the beginning of the show. Hocevar, Stenhouse, we talked about 23-11, which wasn't even on the script. Good job, fellas. Anything from Nashville before we get to our weekly awards?
Just the fact that it's kind of terrifying that Kyle Larson can be that slow and still just randomly be like, screw it, I'm going to 8th just because I feel like it.
only 1 minute on the planet. Okay. Driver of the week. Cam, can I assume?
Yeah. I mean, Hocevar is a great shout, but like I can't not give it to the 12. He finally won.
I'm with you as well.
Same.
Do we have a unanimous driver of the week, BR? What did we do?
I mean, for just to get unanimous, yes, I will say it. Although I want
to go with your gut. Go with your gut. We stand on business on this show, BR. If you got something to say, you come out and say it.
Well, just to me, driver of the week is basically who outperformed their expectations the best,
Okay.
and to me, that was Hocevar finished seeing second. So yeah, I gotta give it. I'm sorry to Ryan Blaney, but yeah, I gotta say Carson Hocevar for.
I went back and forth with him.
I mean, I'm a fan of the driver, and I came out and said that Hocevar was probably a fine shout. Like, but at this point, I think we should just adjust our expectations with him at this point. Like,
he's gonna win this year. I feel it.
Going. I'll say that for later.
Save it for later.
Oh yeah, I was about to.
I have a feeling a Hocevar bomb is coming. Terrorist of the week. Chris?
I'm going with Eric Jones. I mean, dude just straight up sent the 20. I mean, one could argue like he didn't really give him the room either, but
I mean, from my look, like from what I was watching on the TV, it looked like he booted him. Like it was just get out of the way.
Move. So yeah, that's my terrorist of the week.
BR?
This was a tough one for me, so I'll cop out and agree with Chris and say Eric Jones for the same reason.
Did you have anything else in mind, or it was just coming up with one was tough?
Coming up with one was tough. Well, I considered. Well, I was gonna say Stenhouse for basically wrecking himself, and then saying he's gonna, dump Hocevar for it, but we kind of already discussed it, so I felt it was pretty pointless to give it to Stenhouse. You know what? Screw it. Just give it to Stenhouse, I guess.
All right. Cam?
I'll go a little different just because I do think it with the exception of the 11, it seemed like it actually hurt them all. Whatever brake bias they put in all the Toyota cars, because they were all bitching about it in the first stage, and they all fell back with the exception of the 11. Like, but then again, we don't really know about Wallace. He did kind of move up, but Chase Briscoe went from winning stage 1 to struggling to pass for 19th, and I got to imagine that's something to do with that. Eric Jones is a good shot though, because he did just clean him out.
I don't even know where I want to go with this.
Oh, a small shout out to William Byron for just deciding every restart he was going to shoot up to the top lane and make everybody.
Yeah, that was something.
It was working for him. Respect, but it made everybody just wiggly as hell on every restart.
God, I don't know where I want to go with this. I guess I'll go with Chris because I noticed that Eric Jones thing. I thought it was Nemechek because same paint scheme 1 and 2.
The broadcast
Junior Letarte said Nemechek. But yeah, that was just insane. No unanimous awards this week. I believe our only unanimous terrorist of the week has been Cole Custer Spotter.
Yep.
Yeah.
At Daytona.
Yeah. William Byron would be winless without it.
What we wouldn't do for that. All right. Michigan DraftKings segment. Let's get into it. Driver props. We got them this week, fellas. We waited long enough and they posted them. So, number 1, Chris Buescher versus Bubba Wallace.
I'm going to go Buescher just due to how fast they've been here lately. So
I agree with that in terms of Michigan specifically, but Buescher.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying, but Buescher's been wholly unimpressive to me for a few weeks now. So I'm gonna go with Wallace just because I don't know. I just got a feeling about him this week.
BR?
I'll be a homer and say Bubba Wallace.
Nothing wrong with that, BR.
I like this matchup a lot. I'll go Bubba. I like it a lot though. All right, Ryan Blaney versus Seabell.
Blaney.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Blaney. Bell is really has at least in terms of his raw speed.
Yeah, P2, P1, P3 starting, and then he wrecked in 2 out of 3 of them.
Yeah,
Yep.
so like at least in terms of raw speed, he's really fast here. But I'll go with the 12 just because I'll be at the race. Hopefully he's good when I'm there.
Fuck, like I gotta I gotta pick Blaney to finish. I just
Hey, look, he's won now. All bets are off.
I'm betting on Blaney to finish better than Seabell. I know Seabell might be the one guy where like this makes sense because I feel like he's got some weird voodoo with him too when he isn't ripping four wins out of his ass. I'm gonna go Blaney though. Okay, the next one. Kyle Larson versus Denny Hamlin.
Jeez. This is Michigan.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Larson.
I mean, it's been 8 years at this point, but like it is still Michigan. I go Larson, but Hamlin's been fat. Like Hamlin's had a race-winning car for how many weeks in a row now?
Seriously.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Yeah, just saying that. I'm gonna go with Hamlin, but like Larson, I mean, it's still Larson in Michigan.
Denny Hamlin's average position is far better than his, and it's not even close. But that could just because Larson wrecks every other race.
And that's probably the actual.
Yeah, he wrecked last year. That's what's really what's really skewing that. I'm gonna go Denny. I feel like Larson's in a little weird. I don't want to say rut because he just finished P8, but you know what I mean. Like the car isn't screaming like it should be.
It's just funny because only 2 points races ago he won. So
yeah, it's odd, but I'm gonna go Denny Hamlin as well. BR, did you say Denny too?
Yeah, I'll take Denny Hamlin.
All right. Oh, this isn't nice. This isn't nice, DraftKings. This is bullying. This is bullying. Carson Hocevar versus Ty Gibbs.
I thought it was going to be Bowman when you said that.
Yeah, so did I.
And I think we all would have still picked Hocevar either way.
I would have, yeah, despite my T-shirt.
Legitimate bullying too, because Ty Gibbs is like a child.
I mean, Hocevar's younger than him.
The thing is with Ty Gibbs, if he qualifies in the top 10, he'll probably finish all right. But like, if he doesn't, he'll be 30th. So,
Ty Gibbs sneaky good at Michigan.
No, he is.
Like,
P10, P11, P3.
He's really good at big tracks, like the big tracks.
But Hocevar's one run here, P10 last year. So, I'm taking the 77. No problem, no issues. And there's a reason why you can get Ty Gibbs at plus 110.
What's
Honestly,
Hocevar?
why is that even like a match?
Hocevar is at minus 150 in that matchup.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna hit this with you rapid fire. Top Chevrolet, Chris.
Ooh, I'm gonna just go Larson.
Cam.
Carson Hocevar.
Damn it!
BR.
Damn it! I was hoping I was gonna be the one to drop the Hocevar bomb. I agree. I'm gonna go Hocevar.
I agree. Top Ford, Cam.
Blaney, like it just defaults.
Chris.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say Buescher this week, just because it's Michigan.
BR.
Just to be different, Austin Cindric.
And we're going to have a four-way split. I'm going Josh Berry.
I almost did.
Hey, shout out Brad K though. He's been really fast the last couple intermediates, and he, despite how long he's been in the circuit, has never won here, even though it's his home track. So
that'd be a cool story. I just you can get Keselowski plus 600.
What'd you say?
Is it his home state?
Yeah, I'm saying it's home track. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. I was.
Top Toyota, BR.
Bubba Wallace.
Cam.
I'm not gonna go out on a limb twice. So I'll say Hamlin, but Bubba, I wanted to say Bubba.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hamlin just because I went on a win with Buescher.
I will go with Denny as well. 2-2. Anything else fun I can do with this? No. No. You guys can get Eric Jones plus 10,000 to have the fastest lap in Michigan.
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
There is a weird amount of Michigan-based drivers in this race that all should be pretty fast. Because Brad Kay, Eric Jones, and Carson Hocevar are all Michigan natives who would love to
Can you
win.
imagine Hocevar wins his home track his second year and Brad still hasn't done it?
Bro.
Well, I mean, bigger than that, it'd be his first win.
That too. All right. Okay. Do we usually do picks first or expectations first?
Expectations.
Yeah.
Cam, you're going.
Yeah, I'll be there. Should be cooler than it typically is, at least track temp wise.
What's the weather forecast?
I'm like praying it stays this way, but the AccuWeather forecast right now is 77 and sunny. Usually this race is in August and it's 90, and I'm trying not to die. So, yeah, it should be a little cooler. Not that it'll be cold or anything, but it's not going to be like nasty hot, which should get give a little more grip. But I've loved going. I should say I enjoy going a lot more now with this car than I did the last car, because the 550 horsepower package at Michigan was awful. Like, it, as bad as it was everywhere, Michigan was probably where it was the worst. So yeah, it should be a fun race. Should be a good race. I've enjoyed, every year with the new car going there, and a lot of passing, a lot of comers and goers. Yeah, I expect it to be kind of a wide open race. I think, especially with what we've seen the last two intermediates, really three. There's been a lot. I think most of the field has had something to say about at least trying to knock on the top 10. So I think it should be not much different.
No, I am looking forward to the 2 p.m. start and getting out of this primetime window. BR.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan with this car has always been a good race. I'm excited for it.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, Cam said it. I was looking at stats earlier, and in the last 3 races, only one guy's been able to lead more than 55 laps, and that was Martin Truex. And he's retired now. So comers and goers, a lot of passing. And who?
Did not win the race.
Yeah, and did not win the race. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of comers and goers, lots of passing. I mean, I like Michigan. I think it's going to be a good race. Now with this car, like Cam said, the 550 package was horrible there. I hated Michigan for a period of time. I'm happy to see good racing.
Nope, I'm right there with you. Last year I didn't get to see this race because I think it rained out, and then they raced on Monday or whatever it was. So I had to watch it at work, and that sucked. I hate watching races on my phone.
It actually saved me because I worked on Sunday, didn't work on Monday.
Yeah, I remember that.
When it rained out, I was like feverishly trying to find tickets.
Yep. So hopefully we're racing on Sunday. Clean skies. We're finished by dinner time, and we're going to bed happy. All right. God, it's only been 33 minutes. Fuck.
Yeah, I feel like we were on a tangent for a while, and we're still only at 33 minutes.
Good God. Okay. We'll pick some winners, and then I pray to God that we get off on a tangent about something. Cam, you teased your pick earlier. Let's get out with it.
Yeah, I'm throwing the chips in on Hocevar this week. I mean, he has just been absurdly fast the last 2 weeks. At P2, and then who knows what would happen if he didn't blow up at Charlotte. And those are both, Charlotte especially, but they're both tracks that the speed can really translate to Michigan. And for whatever reason, not those Spire cars, the 77 has been really good the bigger the track has been, it feels like. So if he qualifies really well, which I expect him to at that track, he's going to be up there and contending. And like I said earlier, we kind of talked about earlier, what a story that would be. He finally wins, or I say finally, but his first win, and he does it at his home track. That would be a lot of fun. And Chevrolet hasn't won here in 8 years, but they are always up there. So
he's at plus 2,000 right now too.
Yep.
On DraftKings. That's insane.
I was just about to say that.
We all watched both the last 2 races. He didn't even qualify well either race, but once they got the setup right, he was just blowing by anybody he ever got near. So yeah, I'm throwing my chips in on Hocevar because if it's correct, it'll be a fun topic next week.
Chris, you picking the 9?
No, I'm not. I'm going with a boring story, unfortunately. I'm going with the 24. I don't know why, but I feel like he deserves one on speed. He dominated the 600 and then just gave it away. So my gut's telling me that Williams going to win this one and bore it up for us other Hendrick Motorsports fans.
In 2 of the last 4 races, he's finished P2, or 2 of the last 5, excuse me.
Yeah,
I was at the last 4. Yeah, 2 of the last 4.
At the race last year, Reddick took it from him late, but he was probably as a holistically was probably the fastest car last year here.
And in 23, he wrecked.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you're going with William Byron. Gross. BR?
This is deeply unfortunate. I just Cam stole my idea, or maybe I stole his. Who knows? You know what? I'll just follow him, I guess, and also go with Carson Hocevar.
It wouldn't be the first time we picked the same winner this year.
Yeah. And to clear that up, I don't know how long you've had the idea, but I made the Hocevar decision about 15 minutes into the show.
Yeah, he literally made it in the middle of the show.
I was going to pick Bubba Wallace, and then something in my head went, dude, Hocevar has been literally like lightning fast for 2 weeks, and the story would be, let's roll with it.
Yeah, I picked. When I saw him I knew this morning, like when I went and looked at the driver averages, that I was gonna go pick him. So I coming into the show, I knew I was gonna pick him.
I want to do something off the cuff and just pick a stupid winner.
I mean,
You know what? I think I have it.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have it. He is a driver. He is a driver with 2 top 10s here and hasn't yet hit a top 5, but he finished P6 in 2023, P8 in 2024, led 33 laps in 22. He is of Trackhouse Racing. Give me Daniel fucking Suarez.
Look, okay, I just want you to understand, if I spend all my time and money, and I drive all the way out there, and I spend all that time out there, and I have to watch the 99. It's your ass. I hope you understand. Like,
gonna smash a taco on the start finish line for you, Cam.
Okay, at least that'll be somewhat fun. If I step deep into turn 4, I won't even see it. So, like, dude, well, I will say one thing though. With all of our picks, all of us picked the Chevrolet.
That's an oversight.
It's been 8 years since one has won here. It doesn't mean they can't, but it's still funny.
Suarez, Byron, Hocevar, X2.
Because, like, Suarez has been so awful all year.
Yeah.
Like, there's really been, I mean, even Atlanta, where he's been like,
I think he wrecked or something. Like, it was
inexplicably good there ever since they reconfigured it. He was bad.
But you know his season high finish? P2 at Vegas. He was runner-up to Barry.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what that strategy. He was on the same strategy as Barry was. But still, yeah, he's been, like, awful.
He's been dog-ass. He's led 14 laps this year. Oh, look, sorry. 14 laps.
Is this your Harrison Burton prediction of 2025?
Dude. A good thing I picked first in me and Chris's picks this week, because I think I just found one. Watch us pick 4 Chevys. Just not even realize it. Just pick 4 Chevys.
Oh, gosh.
Daniel Suarez for the win.
Dude,
I feel it. I'm talking myself into it. I feel it.
Even if he finishes in the top 10, you can be like, okay, I knew he was going to be fast, though. Because he's just been that bad.
No, he's going to be slow as shit, but he has just the right strategy at the right time.
Or because it doesn't happen a lot, but Michigan's liable. There's just a nasty wreck in stage 3, and he misses it.
Yeah, no, seriously, he causes it and misses it.
It was way more common when they ran 220 here, but they don't do that anymore. but
They should.
yeah, well,
Yes.
take it up with them. The fact that they can even pass now, I'll take.
No, yeah, seriously, yeah, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anyone remembers. Chris may be the only one that has a shot, but if anyone remembers when Blaney won here a couple of years ago, how he won, like he got out on the front row on a restart, and Kyle Busch just shoved him into Lake Michigan,
Yep.
and he got the lead. And Byron and Larson, despite their best efforts, could not even get near him because he just air blocked for 10 laps. At no point was he ever the fastest car or anywhere near it, but they just couldn't get near him because of the air. And there's also a radioactive bit from that race, if you go back, where Kyle Busch, like I said, shoves him into the lake basically in turn one, and then he goes, "Just gave the dumbass the win. You're welcome." And it was like 10 laps to go.
That's a Kyle Busch like classic radio moment. I love that.
Because like it was such an air race. It was just so bad with the 550. Like it was bad everywhere, but Michigan, it was just so bad.
On a tangent note, since did anybody
I'm looking for tangents, Chris. Go.
Did anybody catch Corey LaJoie's jab at Carson Hocevar in the pre-race interview, where he goes, they were interviewing him, and he goes, "Man, you drove a race car so much better than me. I'm an interviewer now," and nobody else caught it. It was like an awkward just blow over. The whole like broadcast blew over it all together. And then afterwards, I hear that he's running truck races now for Spire for the rest of the year after he got offered a full-time truck ride.
Yeah, he turned down a full-timer. And then, I mean, I guess if he's going to do the broadcasting thing, a part-time thing makes more sense, I guess. But Parker Kligerman was a full-time truck series driver and managed it.
Yeah. Well, what sense does it make? Like, is he just trying to go back and prove that he sucks? I mean,
in trucks, he'll probably run well because it's trucks. But,
Daniel Hemrick won a race, so that's
yeah,
true.
I mean, Corey Haim needs to stop being in that series, but after that, he's as good as anyone in that series because it's trucks.
Yeah.
It's really anybody's game down there.
And also, it's a Spire truck. He'll run well because it's a Spire truck.
It's basically a KBM truck now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kyle Busch, it's been a miserable experience for that guy.
Dude, I can't believe he's still running. Like, at this point, just retire. Like, what is it?
And he re-signed with RCR, and Bianchi said it's because anywhere else would have been a downgrade. Like, 2311 wasn't the least bit interested in replacing him with Riley Harris or something.
They won't. Hurst brings too much money. Like, his dad basically owns that car. No, they won't. They run that car specifically so they can keep funding the other two cars at like maximum amounts. The only way they'll ever get rid of Hurst is if there's some like extremely young prospect that also brings funding.
I mean, Haim would have been the perfect opportunity to put in that car, but that money obviously ruined that for Haim.
I can't believe he's not at least in Xfinity. Like, at least you can there'll be some competition.
Well, maybe he just loves beating ass in fucking trucks.
But even if he does, even from trucks to Xfinity, the money difference is massive.
Worth noting, Kyle Busch wrecked two of the last three Michigan races, finished fourth last year. Won a stage.
The only places on the schedule, except when Austin Dillon cheated the one time, the only place on the schedule that
Austin Dillon cheating, what?
That RCR like can even like be respectable is the giant tracks, because they still have the ECR engines and they can still run at the huge tracks. They're short. I mean, that's the only time they can really compete.
Unless they Watergate Joe Gibbs Racing short package.
Yeah. Which would have been just a forgotten story.
Tricky Dick Childress, man.
If he didn't decide to, well, first, if Stenhouse didn't, was it Stenhouse and Priest? Whoever wrecked.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
To
cause that overtime. But, yeah, no, it's, if he's ever going to win, it's either going to be at a plate track or at Michigan, Pocono, or Indianapolis.
Michigan seems like a solid bet for him. Like I said, P4, he qualified really well. P8 2023, P3 in 2022, but that was in a Joe Gibbs car. So
if they didn't scrap California, that would probably be a good shout too. But
what are they doing with that?
I legit think it's just a lot right now.
Like they have no plans for it whatsoever.
It doesn't seem like it because I see an article about every few months where they're like, they haven't started anything there. Like it may just cease to exist.
That's
which is
unfortunate.
ridiculous because we ran one race here with this car and it was fantastic.
That was the only race my first year of watching that I missed.
Yeah, because it was. I mean, it's a 2-mile track. It's Michigan, and I don't know if I feel like everyone kind of knows this. Maybe you don't. California and Michigan are exactly identical to like the dimensions.
No kidding.
The only difference is California's surface is a little older than Michigan's because Michigan's got repaved, I think. But in terms of the dimensions of the racetrack, they're exactly the same. So yeah, race well because this car races well in that type of track.
No, yeah, for sure. Well, we hit my 45-minute mark. I wish we could get Chris back here to say his goodbyes and plug his shit, but I guess I will do that for him. You can check out his power rankings hopefully later this week. Oh, there he is.
Sorry,
Chris,
guys.
we're closing off. What can we expect of you this week?
Yeah, hopefully some power rankings. I had work and personal stuff come up last week, so I didn't get that done. And then obviously our picks piece. But yeah, that should be it. We're gonna put a pause on the Life's the Noise podcast right now.
Oh shit, we totally forgot about something.
What is it?
Oh boy.
The NASCAR in-season challenge.
Oh shit, yeah.
The field is set. Drivers arranged in alphabetical order. Drivers will be seated by their best overall finish in the next 3 weeks. Michigan, Mexico City, and Pocono. So that's something that we need to keep an eye on.
They managed to NASCAR the idea.
Say it again?
Because they managed to NASCAR the idea. Because why is the seating done in a 3-race sample size when we have 13 races that you could have used for that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, I'm like, why would you not just use the season standings?
Like they managed to NASCAR up the idea, but it's still a cool idea.
BR, what do we say about NASCAR? Consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, thank you. I wasn't sure where you were
I
going.
set you up and you went down looking.
Well, makes sense for a person located in Colorado right now.
No kidding. Any podcast for you this week, Chris?
No, probably not. We're gonna put a pause on that right now.
Okay.
Just summer break and stuff going on. So
Okay, I will quit asking until fall.
there you go.
Got our picks coming out later this week. I'm itching to talk football at some point. The Foxborough Beatcast will make a comeback. I'm itching to talk about football. I need people to talk football with.
Like, you know, we'll talk about work schedules, but I'm game if it's logistically possible at the time.
Same.
I am. This is same schedule as Short Pit for me every day.
Yeah, I'm saying my schedule might be different then as well. But no, I'm a Vikings fan. This is the most intrigue they've had in really my life. So.
And this is the most optimistic I've been for a Patriots season since.
I think they're going to end up second in that division. I do.
I agree. I think the Dolphins could be competing for the first overall pick this year.
I mean, the Jets I think will be worse. The Jets I think will be hot.
Listen, the safe bet is that the Jets will be worse, and I fully accept that. But I think the Dolphins could be. They're teetering on a culture collapse right now.
The Jets are going to bring back the wishbone, like the wing T. They can't pass.
The Falcons are gonna win the division.
They might.
Now.
No, I've actually been on that for a couple months. Tampa's a safer bet, but I really think Atlanta could win the division.
I don't even watch NFL that much, so.
But you're right.
VR, any football thoughts in the last minute to get us to 50 minutes?
I mean, the Broncos need RJ Harvey to look as good in the regular season as he apparently has looked in the off season. If they can have a running game, that would be extremely appreciated because, Nick's had a good rookie season and he had no running game to speak of. It was bad. And they didn't do as much to it as I was hoping for. But yeah, hopefully Harvey and Estime taking a step forward increases the running game. Defense should be nasty again this year.
My dynasty team cannot agree more. All right.
I was just saying, if the Chiefs can tone down the black magic, the Broncos could win that division.
I'm not. I'm gonna keep predicting.
The only
Chiefs
team I'm
win the-
counting out is the Raiders.
Yeah. Well,
And
I think they'll
even they
be.
might be respectable.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I think they'll be better than people think. But until someone other than the Chiefs win the division, I'm gonna keep predicting the Chiefs win the division.
Yep. All right, fellas. Maybe we can do a short pit Foxborough beat style at some point. But until then, thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow the show on Facebook, follow it on Twitter, follow all of our handles down there below our names. We'll see you later this week. Have a great week.